welcome to the incredible Red Bull Ring in Austria for round 4 of the Michelin Le Mans Cup. Here we begin the second part of the season, and in both categories the championship titles are still very much open for the taking.
In the LMP3 title race, Acura Cos-Nielsen and RLR M Sports chase reigning champions DKR Engineering. The gap between them has increased after Road to Le Mans. The championship leaders are now 29.5 points ahead of even their closest rival.
The first 3 rounds were hard for us to compete, and Le Mans didn't go very well. So hopefully second half of the season we can put a bit more pressure on them. We know the Norma is quick in high-speed tracks, and we're confident we can go quick at Red Bull Spa Portimao. So here really is turning point for us. Try and, fresh start, fresh livery, and hopefully some podiums for the last 3 rounds.
My theory is, don't worry about everybody else, do the best job we can possibly do ourselves. It's just a highly competitive championship, and it's you just got to make sure you try and leave with points and do a clean job every weekend. The top speed of the Norma's good, but I think overall the Ligier will come back to us on the tighter, twistier tracks that we've got left for the remainder of the season. They only need one bad result, and we have one good result, and it all comes flooding back.
In GT3, it's a huge Ferrari battle. Kessel Racing ahead of Spirit of Race and AF Corsa. Behind them, another driver from Kessel Racing, Claudio Schiavone. For his first season in the category, he's 1 point away from the top 3 in the title race.
I try not to take a too big gap to my competitors, and of course my reference are the other bronze driver, especially the one in front of me. It's the first time I'm here. I like it. It's a very nice track. The infrastructure is spectacular, and if we can put a foot on the podium, that's definitely a goal that we have in mind.
Michelin Le Mans Cup rookies Ebi Motors aren't really thinking of podiums just yet. They lie 5th in the points, but this season is all about planning for the future.
This is a big battle with Ferrari, but not only with Ferrari, with many very fast drivers. There are many teams faster than us, I know that. And this is our first year. It's good like that. It is a good experience. This is the first approach to have more experience for next year.
Making its Michelin Le Mans debut at the Red Bull Ring is Krypton Motorsport, leading the Italian Endurance Champions Cup with this Mercedes AMG. One of the drivers is also the team manager.
It is difficult to find the way to put the focus like a driver or like a manager, but it's not a new situation for me, and I guess I can manage in the best way the situation. This championship is the best combination for a team like our team. We are a young team. For me, the way is push as best you can, and in the end of the race we will see where we'll be there.
Leonard Hogenboom competes in an endurance racing series for the very first time this season. Teamed with Jens Pedersen in DKR Engineering's LMP3 Norma, the Dutchman won the first 2 races of the season, and he's still only 18.
For me, it's really nice to also that you're the youngest guy, and you can also learn from the other guys when they have also a lot of experience and all that things. And you can learn also from your teammates, and also from Jens. He had also a lot of experience, and he's also a fast driver. That's also really important. First race in La Castellane in France went really good. The last lap, Jens had a small spin, but he was lucky that the gap was a little big enough. We won there, And then the second race in Monza, we finished at P1 also. Really happy with that. And then new circuit, Road to Le Mans. I also never been there. Jens, he was been there a couple of years ago. There was a red flag. And then we finished first qualifying P18. Jens at the start. And then I pushed to the maximum and then we drove to P3. And that was really nice also to finish on the podium. First time on the circuit in Le Mans. Really good experience. I really like also the track and the speed was also there, so it was really good. Last year we did an F4 and the year before also. We did both championship, Italian and Germany. We finished those a couple of times on the podium, it was good. And then the guys from DKR, they asked us to do a test in the winter. We did a test, but it was only in the rain, but for me the car feels really good. And then we say, do nog a couple of other tests. And then we say, okay, we go to do the LMP3 in the Michelin Cup this year. And this is a close car, but for me it's a really good car, a lot of grip, also a lot of power, and for me the car is really good to drive and also nice and fast. Yeah, I mean you can drive LMP1, it's also really nice to do, but now we first focus on the LMP3 this season, and then maybe we can do next year some other higher categories in the LMP cars, or it's really nice to do that also then. Enjoy the race.
Well, here we are on a rather wet grid, just a few moments before we get round 4 of the Michelin Le Mans Cup underway. And it's new faces taking pole positions in both categories here in Austria. In GT3, well, it was Krypton Motorsport Stefano Pizzucci. He took pole position by over a second. And in LMP3, it was French newcomer Fabien Laverne, who overcame our current championship leader Jens Petersen to give CD Sport their first pole of the season. Let's go racing!
Gentlemen, we have started the race behind the safety car. It will be at least 2 laps behind the safety car. Please ensure your cars have all the lights on.
Tricky conditions here for the start of the Red Bull Ring. Race director Eduardo Freitas making sure everybody gets to feel what the track is like. It is very wet, lots of spray.
The car is coming in at the end of this lap. No overtaking before the line.
So here we go then, we are about to go green. Fabien Laverne leading across the line for CD Sport from the championship leader Jens Pedersen. Somewhere in the gloom, Adrian Keeler, the red, white and blue of Graf, is third, and everybody else struggling to see where the corner is through the spray. Well, this is going to be a tough race of endurance, certainly from the start. There's the battle for third place. Adrian Keeler's got Alistair McCaig behind him in the 79 Acura Cos-Nielsen car. McCaig pulls out early to see where the corner is, then tucks right back in behind. Trouble getting off the corner for Adrian Keeler in the number 40 Graf Racing car. Fabien Laverne pulling away fast. Jens Pedersen in second place. Then the Graf car. Behind him, the 2 Acura Cos-Nielsen machines, Alistair McCaig with the blue stripe and Tony Wells in the dark car. Everybody else struggling for visibility. Good run there from McCaig. A little further back, this is the battle for 16th. Jack Wolf, 21 with the orange highlights, just ahead of the white car of Alex Kapadia. Number 59 RLR M Sport car finding grip on the inside, trying to squeeze up through there. The wet racing line is normally offline, but Kapadia finding grip. Wipers are still on, still lots of spray. Kapadia goes through though for 16th spot. Alex Kapadia again charging on. He's right behind Gerald Kraus in the 9 Cool Racing car and Najaf Hussain in the 32 United Autosports car. Squeezes between the two and dives down the inside of Hussain. 2 cars in 2 corners, or in fact a double left-hander. Great work by Alex Kapadia. And so now he is up into 12th place. And that battle rages on without him. Michael Benham for Lannon Racing on the outside here of Johan Boris. Shire up to turn 1, little bit of a touch between them. Benham runs out wide. Now who flinches here? They're getting together. Oh, Benham just little twitch as he tried to get the turn started. Jens Pedersen being attacked here for 2nd place. This is Graf Racing's Adrian Keeler. Keeler up the inside into the hairpin. And through he goes, takes that spot away pretty easily. There's the Graf Racing crew, always ready to leap into action should the car come in with some emergency. Battle for 3rd place now, Alistair McCaig, and he is going to move up the inside of Jens Pedersen as well. Pedersen taking it very cautiously in these slippery conditions in the number 3 DKR Engineering car. The championship leader now down to 3rd and more trouble behind. And the trouble behind comes from Johan Boris Shire. The N-Race car goes through for 4th place. Jens Pedersen is struggling. He was 2nd. He's now down to 5th place. GT3 leader. This is Marco Zanutti in the Krypton Motorsport Mercedes, moving up to 15th overall, going by Najaf Hussain's United Autosports LMP3 car. Mercedes has got plenty of traction and plenty of speed as well. Here's the battle for 5th. Alex Kapadia, RLR M Sport, attacking Jens Pedersen, and he goes through at the inside of the hairpin. Basically stops Pedersen in his tracks. Through he goes. So Kapadia has come, well, what was the first move we saw him making? Up to 16th. He's now up to 5th position. Great run for Alex Kapadia. Alex Kapadia for RLR M Sport. Now attacking Adrian Keeler and Johan Boris Shire. They battle in front of him. Which way is he going to go? Keeler in 3rd, Shire in 4th. And Kapadia finding a little bit of damp on the inside to cool the tyres. Goes by 1 and Keeler goes off. So Kapadia got by Shire. Now he's having to hold off the Frenchman in the 99 N-Race car. And after Adrian Keeler gave away 3rd by outbraking himself in turn 1, Alex Kapadia in the white car with the red highlights is now our 3rd place driver. Marco Zanutti charging away at the head of LMP3 in the Krypton Motorsport Mercedes. Well, these guys having a really good debut in the Michelin Le Mans Cup, leading comfortably. 7 seconds ahead of AF Corsa's Pier Giuseppe Perezzini, the best of the Ferraris. Battle for 3rd in GT3. Sergio Pianazzola in the pink and purple Kessel Racing Ferrari, squeezing inside Christoph Ulrich. There's a little bit of rubbing, a little bit of racing, but the Spirit of Race car down to 4th. Pianazzola up to 3rd place. Jens Pedersen in the number 3 DKR Engineering car still struggling for pace. This is Michael Benham, Lannon Racing's number 25 on the inside. He goes through for 6th position, and there are 2 more hunters astern. John Ferrano in the 14 RLR M Sport car in 8th place at the moment, finding some damp. Ferrano now all over Jens Pedersen, looking for 7th place, and through he goes. Pedersen is struggling. Well, if DKR have gone for a full dry setup, maybe that is part of the reason, but the track is drying. It could come back to them. John Ferrano up into 7th. Jens Pedersen down into 8th place. Adrian Keeler under pressure, and he's asking, is that Tony Wells on the same lap? No, he's currently a lap down. Tony Wells trying to unlap himself on the 3rd placed Frenchman. Right in the slipstream, looks up the inside, nice and early, and through, no contact. Adrian Keeler cuts his nose off. Well, that was silly. There was no need for that. He knew the other car was a lap down. The performance of this GT3 Mercedes of Krypton Motorsports is a real wake-up call to the Michelin Le Mans Cup. Marco Zanussi now 17 seconds ahead of Pier Giuseppe Perezzini, one of the series front runners in the AF Corse Ferrari. Pit window is open. Jens Pedersen being chased by Jacques Wolf in DB Autosport, and both of them heading into the pits. Pedersen going in at the first possible opportunity. Yellow flags up to the turn 2 hairpin. This could be a well-timed stop for DKR. There are the points leaders.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
That's Richard Mines, United Autosports number 23 car, stuck in the gravel. And he's going to be craned back out onto terra firma. That's why the full course yellow is out. Maurizio Mediani taking over from Christoph Ullrich in the 51 Spirited Race Ferrari. Kessel Racing also in. Giacomo Piccini taking over the number 8 car. Loads of pit stops now under this full course yellow. If you miss this window, you could be in real trouble. Number 3 DKR comes out. 25 Lannon Racing ahead of the 21 DB Autosport car. This is where the teams really earn their money.
3, 2, 1. Track is back to green. Track is back to green.
Leaders are in the pits. This is a horribly long pit stop for CD Sport. Lawrence Hoare taking over from Fabien Laverne. Krypton Motorsport in from the GT3 lead as well. Oh, and somebody's into trouble. Fresh out of the pits. That's Job van Uitert. Lost a wheel.
3, 2, 1. Full course yellow. Full course yellow.
Everybody slowing down, almost everybody slowing down to 80 kilometers an hour. We're midway through the race, N-Race ahead of the 79-year Courier Cos car, 40 from Graf Racing in third, ahead of the DKR Engineering number 3 car. And in GT3, the Ferraris of Kessel Racing and AF Corse are ahead of Krypton Motorsports Mercedes.
3, 2, 1, green, we're back to green.
Now to go, this is the lead battle in GT3, the pink and purple Kessel Racing Ferrari, Giacomo Piccini ahead of Marco Ciocci in the AF Corse 71 Ferrari. Krypton Motorsports Mercedes stopped last and is 13 seconds behind. Maurizio Mediani in 4th place in the 51 Spirited Race Ferrari. So we'll change after the pit stops in both our Michelin Le Mans Cup classes. And the GT3 battle is a tight one. Question is, in 50 minutes, can the Mercedes close up? Here's the 4th place car, our championship leaders, Leonard Hogenboom, the young Dutchman. And he's already set a brand new fastest lap, 1 minute 27.348. That's quicker than the pole position lap set in qualifying. So he is absolutely flying. Maybe they have set their car up purely for dry conditions. Lead battle, Colin Noble chasing, and Alain Costa in the red, white and black N-Race car is the race leader. Noble for your Courier Cos Nielsen team, all over the back of him, closing up towards turn 2 and the hairpin. Alain Costa defending as long as he can on the outside. Noble sends him the wrong way. Up the inside he comes. Deep under braking, and there's contact as Costa tries to cut him off at the corner. Make the apex despite the fact there was someone inside him, and that was just giving the place away. Drive-through penalty for Marco Ciocci. Crossed at the pit exit line. And that is really bad news for the car that was in 2nd place. Into the pits, Alain Costa in the 99 N-Race car that was the race leader. And that's to repair a bit of damage on the right rear corner after that contact with Colin Noble. Well, there was room for both cars to survive at turn 2. 40 Graf Racing car in 2nd place, Marc-Antoine Danielou. Oh, understeer is killing him, he says. And you can see right behind Leonard Hogenboom charging up behind him and just goes straight by. And that may well have been Jens Pedersen's problem early on. DKR, knowing the weather would dry, gambling that the weather would dry totally, set the car up for these conditions. And Leonard Hogenboom is now reaping the benefits. Race leaders are Kyriakos Nielsen, and Charlie is down with the team.
Now, a win would be a great result for you guys. Have you got high hopes?
There's still a long way to go. We've got half an hour to go. It's very close. We've got the championship leading DKR car behind us, and Hogenboom's very quick. So Colin just needs to drive a clean race, and we'll see where we end up.
Battle is on for the lead in GT3, and it's close. There's the pink and purple leader. That's Kessel Racing's Giacomo Piccini, but not any longer. Stefano Pizzucci, driver and team manager at Krypton Motorsport, has put the Mercedes back in the lead. Lead battle in LMP3. Leonard Hogenboom all over the back of Colin Noble's Kyriakos Nielsen car. The black and orange number 3 machine, the championship leader, trying to go the long way round the double left-hander. Colin Noble holding his line. Closing stages, less than 10 minutes left in the race. And the battle is on. Hogenboom all over the back of Colin Noble. And Noble clearly not with the quicker car, now has to be super clean in defence. Hogenboom's going to struggle to go the long way round the outside. Battle for 4th place with the red highlights is Duncan Tappy, Lannon Racing. Lawrence Hors dives through the inside in the CD Sport car. Contact, and one's facing the wrong way, the other in the gravel. Last lap of the race, and behind the 2nd placed GT3 Kessel Racing Ferrari is the leader, Colin Noble, and the 2nd place car, Leonard Hogenboom. Noble on the inside of the Ferrari, boxes in Hogenboom. Doesn't get a great exit though. Here comes the DKR engineering car. It's got much better traction. That's as a result perhaps of not being set up partially soft for the wet at the beginning. And Hogenboom having a long look down the inside. There's contact. He rubs his way through. More contact. And Colin Noble in the gravel. Leonard Hogenboom has elbowed him out of the way. We'll take a look again. Hogenboom with speed gets alongside. There's just about enough racing room, but Hogenboom can't get himself out of the hole he's dug and just keeps nudging away. Well, DKR are happy with that. Jens Pedersen sees his teammate go through. I don't think Kyriakos will see it quite the same way, and maybe the stewards won't either. Leonard Hogenboom, desperate last lap lunge. He got through. And after 73 laps of the Red Bull Ring, the checkered flag is out. It is win number 3 of the season for Leonard Hogenboom and Jens Pedersen with DKR Engineering. Well, they are delighted. We have 3-time winners in GT3 as well, as Giacomo Piccini and Sergio Pianazzola claim their 3rd victory in the number 8 Kessel Racing Ferrari. A 3rd win for DKR, a 2nd podium for Colin Noble and Alistair McCaig, and a 1st for Marc-Antoine Danielou and Adrian Keeler and the number 40 car. Despite the pace of the Mercedes, it was a Ferrari podium. Kessel, AF Corsa and Spirita race here at the Red Bull Ring. The writing might be on the wall. We may see some Mercedes in next year's series. Well, it was topsy-turvy weather conditions and a gamble that certainly paid off for DKR Engineering.
Our decision was to go for a fully dry setup, because we thought it would dry after the driver change. I decided not to take too many risks because we were thinking about the championship, and main goal was to bring the car home in one piece. Yeah, and then he had a perfect car, I think, and he pushed a lot.
The DKR crew joined by the 40 Graf team and a fairly unhappy Kyriakos Nielsen duo. But DKR enjoying their moment in the sunshine as they claim victory in the Red Bull Ring.
The team did a great pit stop, and I was having a good stint. You know, I could respond with pace. I just took a mad lunge onto the grass down the inside and drove into side of me and hit me into the gravel. After that happened in the last lap, you're hardly due to shake hands with him, I don't think. Hardly won it in a fair manner.
Our top 3 in the race, also our top 3 in the title race. DKR now with a 46.5 point advantage.
was amazing. The guys did an amazing job. It was a very tough race. Sergio today did a fantastic stint. Then the Mercedes came, which was really, really fast. They didn't want to take any risk, but then they had a problem, so we are first again, and that's great. Congratulations to Sergio, to the team, and to all. Thanks.
A third GT3 win then for the number 8 Kessel Racing crew. They were 12th overall. AF Corsa's 71 team in second, Spirit of Race in third with the 51 car. So despite the pace of the Mercedes, an all Ferrari podium. And that means that Kessel Racing also keep their championship lead, stretching it out to 21 points over the Spirit of Race 51 car, AF Corsa's 71 and Ebi Motors 88 tied behind them. And that is it for the Red Bull Ring. Next time out, Spa, September, round 5 of the Michelin Le Mans Cup.